what's going on with my camera. Got this sticking in the view. I got the microphone in the view. What happened? Hey, this is going to be a version of Vice Grip Garage boat version. I like that guy's channel. He's funny. But this guy brought this boat over. And it says Hurricane. It's got a nice trailer on it. Once again, set for like 5 years. He brings it over. It's funny. He went and took it to, I guess, the car wash and washed it off. But he had the plug in it, and it just poured out water all over everywhere. But then on this deal, like I take it's old Johnson V4, you know, probably early Seahorse 115, you know, it's gonna be what, 69, 70, early 70s, I would say. Yeah, probably early 70s, maybe mid 70s. So it had a tilt trim on it. And you can see where something's in there. I don't know, but they had a tilt and trim, and I guess they got messed up, and so they just cut the rams off of it, and it still has the motor and everything. It's like the ones that I always think are totally dead suddenly come back to life, but the ones that I think should just run end up being my biggest problems. So I don't know, you know, the guy wants me to check compression and see if it even runs, so he brings it over. I'm like, okay, cool, you know. And then this happens. We take the lid off, maybe. What's going on? Oh. Yeah, maybe it'll lift the latch. Yeah, why? And it looks kind of like this. But what I should have filmed is on this side, there was that big, huge rat nest. I mean, it was a monster one. I'm looking at this wiring and I'm like going, yeah, I don't know about this, buddy, but let's see. That's what that looks like. So, obviously, it's just crazy. You gotta redo the carbs, you need fuel pump. Starter looks like terrible. Solenoid's all rusted up. All this wiring going to the switch box. I mean, wow. I'm afraid to even touch it. So, I may have to just jump off the starter. See if I can even get it to turn. I mean, it is like, you know, it turns. So, it actually feels like it's got a little compression. Somebody wrote some numbers down at one time, 130, 135, 130, 130. Who knows? But the first thing is to like clean up this mess. I mean, it's bad. Get out, fire up the air compressor, so I blow off whatever I can. But I mean, you got like big nuts, stuff that's just rusted up. You got NGK, and then you got, yeah, so they got B7HS, should be, I think, B8HS. Got to be hosed down. Some WD-40, I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty much needs a probably everything, and it would run. But then, how much are you going to spend on that? You gonna spend a couple grand getting this going when you could just go get one that's running? Anyway, it's hilarious. I should have filmed it. There's a big rat's nest right here. And that was the first thing that I saw because I was standing right here. And I was like, oh my God. I've never seen one like that. Alright, well, I got a battery I'm going to put in it. I was hoping I could pull the cables out here or to leave the cables here instead of hauling that battery all the way up in there. But that didn't work out. They got other connections on them, and they're just rusted solid. I got a remote start set up. I hooked that on the battery. I hosed it down with some WD-40. A lot of corrosion and rust. Took the spark plugs out. First, I want to see if the starting circuit even works. Charged up my battery. I really want to lug this up there. Guess I'm just gonna have to do it. I'll just set it up there. Oh, it's such a long way. I don't have a lot of faith in this. We can wing nuts everywhere. Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun getting out. Alright, well that's not gonna work. I think what I'm gonna have to do is hook some battery cables of mine up and not use this because I'd have to redo these. Well, let's see if I got some battery cables. See, that's all rusted on there. I tried to get that off, but it's just turned, so even if I put that on there on the battery, I'll never have a decent connection. And this one is tight, but it's broken. See that? It's just broken. Alright, I grabbed a couple of my battery cables and just tucked them straight up. So obviously this is to our solenoid, and then our ground is right there. And then I've got my little start switch, so I got to the one side of the solenoid, the other side's ground. So signal side of the solenoid. And then I got my little remote start deal. I don't know, we'll see if it even turns this thing. Well, it turns the starter, but the Vindex is not coming up and down. So it's probably rusty shut in there. I sprayed it with some WD-40, but I don't know. Maybe I could spray it some more, take a screwdriver, see if I can break it loose.